Curry very likely playing, and the Timberwolves want to get this one of the best clutch players in the history of the league a chance to beat him.
Lauren Jabbar is going to have more on Stephen Curry as we continue on tonight. Arriving at our first closeout game as Buddy Hield gets up the first shot. Gobert there to clean it up. You can feel it in the building. This crowd is energized. They have not had a closeout game in this building since 2004 as Rudy Gobert opens up the scoring.
Well, that's a heck of a pass out of the blitz by Anthony Edwards, and a nice catch and finish by Rudy Gobert, who really hasn't been involved much offensively.
Jimmy Butler gives it up. Pajemski fires up a three and buries a three. And the Warriors are going to need a lot more of that from guys like Pajemski and Hield. And it is no coincidence that Hield and Pajemski get up the first two shots here tonight.
Not at all. They need Hield to keep it going from three, and then they need somebody else, whether it's Pajemski, Payton, Moody, somebody who shot the ball earlier very well in the playoffs to get going. Pajemski now only 4 for 18 from three in this series without Steph Curry. Jimmy Butler's got to be great. They need Kuminga to keep scoring, but some other guys are going to have to step up offensively, and this defense, which is capable of doing it, has to be absolutely great.
Here's Anthony Edwards coming off a 30-point game in Game 4. Made 6 threes in that game. Sets up Randall, who went for 31 in Game 4. And that dynamic duo, they have found their footing after a rough start in Game 1. Remember, that was after 5 days off. And they have won the last 3 to put the Warriors on the break. And Edwards with the block. Randall taking on 2 Warriors and lost the handle. Right to Pajemski, ill-advised from Julius Randle.
Yeah, and a great effort by Draymond Green to get on the floor.
Part of the story here with this series, they've played every other day through these first 5 games as Trace Jackson-Davis on the cleanup on the miss by Pajemski. Coach is going to be 3 days off before Game 6. So the Curry story is an even bigger one, knowing that he's got 4 more days for recovery with the 3 days off after this one. They don't play again until Sunday.
Right, because they've got the Valkyries, the WNBA expansion team, opening their season on Friday, so they can't play there. There's no NBA games on Saturday, and that pushes Game 6 to Sunday, which is a great benefit for the Warriors if, and a big if they can get past this Minnesota team tonight on the road.
Mike Conley hits a corner 3. This crowd erupting with every moment. Chris Finch talked to us about his team needing to come out with force. They have not been as good at home as he would like, as Buddy Hield gets a mid-range jumper to go. Chris Finch says we need better execution, production to start the game to get this crowd immediately into it. Wolves finished 6th in the West. Warriors ended up with a 7 seed. Minnesota had a great run at the end of the year. They have won 13 of 16 games. And since March 1st, they really turned the corner and got themselves out of the play-in and into the playoffs. Took down the Lakers in 5, and they've got a chance to take out the Warriors in 5 with a victory tonight. Anthony Edwards finds Conley again. The lefty fires, no good. And Gobert right off of Green, who secured it. That was a nice play by Green. Jimmy Butler gets the boos every time he touches the ball. A former Minnesota
taking a foul on Butler.
John Goble, James Williams, Sean Wright are 3 officials. Justin Van Dyne is the alternate. Kane Fitzgerald and James Caters back in Secaucus at the NBA Replay Center. Julius Randle, he has had a terrific postseason stand. He has answered a lot of questions about his postseason performances.
Well, yeah, he had this stigma coming out of New York that he was a great regular season.
Like he does everything else, all in. Early on, it was mostly treatment. Now he's progressed to some on-court basketball activity like stationary shooting. Celebrini emphasized, though, they're accelerating when they can, but not skipping any stages of healing. He said he couldn't ask for a better scenario. Steph will be reevaluated, guys, on Saturday, and hopes that he could be on the floor for Game 6. Steve Kerr's optimistic.
Thank you, Laura. Good stuff there. Good thorough report on all the things that are going into this stand. And, of course, Minnesota wants no part of that. They want to eliminate the Warriors right now. It would buy them some time off before the Western Conference Finals as McDaniels goes strong to the basket. So Stephen Curry, again, it's not something you can just deal with the pain and play through. It is a hamstring injury. Draymond Green with a nice finish. These are not things.
Yeah, there's no question. Look, Steph Curry would be out there if he could be out there. And against the Warriors zone right there, a great screen by Rudy Gobert. That's how the Timberwolves have tried to attack this zone. Screening up top on the guards. Gets Anthony Edwards the room to knock down that three.
Podziemski, nice pass with his offhand. Butler's going to draw the three. But let's not discount who the Minnesota Timberwolves are and what they've been through this playoff run.
And now they're 7-2 in the playoffs. Look, this team has been really, really good. 8-man rotation. Chris Finch has done a masterful job. This is a very good team. And yes, is it easier without Steph Curry? Was going to be very tough to deal with regardless.
Credit to Tim Connolly as well, now in his third year. Heading up the basketball operations with the Wolves. He was the man who built the Denver Nuggets, spent 10 years there. And pretty much that roster he built in Denver went on to win the championship in 2023. They've got a good thing going here, and they have one of the game's greatest stars in Anthony Edwards in an NBA playoff scenario.
No, as a matter of fact, Brian, since the start of March, the only team in the NBA with a better record and with a better net rating are the Oklahoma City Thunder. 2.5 months now.
See with the wave of substitutions after that made free throw by Naz Reid. Gary Payton is in, Jimmy Butler is out, and Naz Reid hits them both. Minnesota up 6 halfway through the first quarter in the first closeout opportunity of this series. Minnesota leads 3-1 in this best of 7. Podziemski gets Reid on his back, gets his own rebound, and now Buddy Hield trying to shake DiVincenzo, cannot. Podziemski open, and he hits another one, his second made three.
Well, Podziemski's a pretty good three-point shooter. 38% on the year, has been struggling in the postseason. It's good to see him get it going. Turnover by the Timberwolves there on a travel. The Warriors get it back.
Third turnover as Randall travels with it. Here's Kuminga. First minutes on the floor and denied. It was DiVincenzo and Edwards. And now the Ant-Man wants to push. Warriors get back well. Randall with Podziemski on him and Green lurking. Now Reid drives. Reid leaves it up top. And a throwdown. Jaden McDaniels flying high for the lob. This kid is spring-loaded right here. Jaden McDaniels, fifth-year pro out of Washington. He's only 24 years of age. He is electric and a lockdown defender. DiVincenzo cuts the lane, forces a turnover. Edwards gives it right back to McDaniels. McDaniels missed it. Kuminga with the rebound.
Well, and that's a good sign right there. Kuminga didn't have a rebound in game 4.
Kuminga running the floor, dunks it down. Steve Kerr said to us in our meeting between the 4 of us, me, Stan, Steve, and Lauren, as many rebounds as Jonathan Kuminga. They need more. Ball's loose and Hield with the foul.
In the game here, Guy Santos, who's had some good moments in the postseason, but has not been in the rotation in this series.
Naz Reid, nice little turnaround jump hook in the lane. Known as a three-point threat. He's got some sauce in the paint as well. Kuminga goes with a left hand. That was brilliant. We asked Steve Kerr why not start Kuminga, and he said we want to buy him a little time. Started Trace Jackson Davis. Gobert, tough finish. They're playing fast, up and down the floor they go.
Well, both teams want to push it. Game 4 was the fastest paced game of the series up to that point, and they're playing even faster tonight.
Jonathan Kuminga hits a three. He has come off that bench, blistering hot right now. Both sides of the ball.
For the last 3 games, he's averaged almost 24 points a game.
He's got a quick 7 in his first 4 minutes. Edwards with a flyby, gives it right back. Alexander Walker, around the horn it goes. Naz Reid resets it for a 3, no good. And Santos and Gobert take a spill together. And Santos will be called for the foul.
Foul trouble.
The Warriors bigs want to make Gobert feel him here tonight. DiVincenzo, he has really slumped in this playoff run. He's shooting just 23% from three-point range. He lit it up for the Knicks from beyond the arc last year. Santos drives, fires one to Butler. Ball's moving well. Unwilling to take a shot. Santos is not. And he comes up short. Naz Reid with the board.
I think Jimmy Butler needs to look to score when he got that ball in the corner. Jimmy's open the last game and then again tonight, just wanting to be a facilitator. I don't think they have enough scoring for him to do that.
Gobert springs free inside. Timeout Warriors. Minnesota by 4. I think the stat Steve Kerr would be most happy with is the fact he got a rebound. That's the off the board. Jimmy Butler back on the floor. Butler with Santos and Hield, Looney, and Kuminga, the 5 on the floor. Steve Kerr continues to doctor his rotations. Kuminga taking on Naz Reid. Little stop, comes up short. Gobert with a rebound. Minnesota by 4. Under 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. DiVincenzo looking up for Gobert. Great action from the Wolves right there. Gobert's in the middle of it all right now. Both sides of the ball. Kuminga drives and scores a tough layup with the left hand.
Well, he's just going at Naz Reid. Very explosive and able to finish with either hand.
It's a pretty tight 8-man rotation for Chris Finch. He's got an excellent bench. And Alexander Walker and DiVincenzo and Naz Reid. Here's Edwards trying to get loose. Edwards comes up short. Anthony Edwards knocked down the 1 3-pointer. That's been his only made bucket. Butler turned away by DiVincenzo. Wants it back. DiVincenzo just hounding him, and it's the last touch by Butler. It's a Golden State turnover.
Defensive play there.
Edwards dancing with Guy Santos. Gives it up. DiVincenzo. Cash. Needed to see one go. He's got a pure stroke. You figure his time's coming. Edwards with the steal. On the run out. Edwards throws it down into second gear and misses the layup.
Well, he has missed a lot of layups in this series. We've seen it much more so than you normally see out of him.
Hield sets up for 3. Back iron. Naz Reid the rebound. Furious pace going here. Wolves have 30 on the board. They lead by 7 with the ball. Shot clock is off. Edwards gonna go into ball control mode here and get the last one. Minnesota doing exactly what they wanted in the first quarter. As Edwards turns it over. And
Thank you.
just 22 years of age from the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Central Africa. He is a free agent at season's end as Jimmy Butler scores one with contact and a chance at a 3-point play for Butler here.
And they need a lot more of that, Brian. Anzadini needs to force shots, but he's got to be aggressive, and if they don't draw the second defender, he's got to score. And the Warriors back in that zone again, as they usually are, coming out of timeouts or after free throws.
Pat Spencer, Quentin Post on the floor for Golden State. Here's Alexander Walker, drives it, and that was Butler who forced the turnover. Pat Spencer at the controls, sets up Buddy Hield, 3-pointer, no good. Butler, the offensive rebound. Butler taking on 3 Wolves. Finds post. He's a big man who can shoot. And Spencer. Contact with DiVincenzo. Picks up the foul. Got him in the face.
Well, one of the ways the Warriors are hanging in right here is they have 4 been active on the offensive glass in this series.
Naz Reid gets Draymond Green down low. Wow, threw some moves at him. Naz Reid able to lay it in. Minnesota back up 6. Alexander Walker picks up Spencer. There's DiVincenzo again. Lazy pass. Turnover. Dunk. The big ragu. Got him on their feet. Spencer backing down Alexander Walker. Tough finish inside. That's a matchup the Warriors want.
Well, Alexander Walker's actually a great individual defender, but Pat Spencer there just using his strength. A very, very strong guy.
And Alexander Walker, no good. Reid there, offensive rebound. First offensive rebound for Minnesota, and ends up throwing it away.
And that's the 6th turnover for Minnesota. They've had 21 in each of the last 2 games.
That'll be Warriors ball. Unnecessary pass from Spencer.
Admonishing Pat Spencer there. He's got to be much better with the ball.
Kuminga taking on Alexander Walker. Again, they target him. Find Spencer in the corner. DiVincenzo with the rebound. Julius Randle. Now the switch. Buddy Hield ends up on Randle. They clear out some space for him. Randle goes to his right hand and finishes.
He just dropped that shoulder. It was just way too strong for Buddy Hield there.
It's like a battering ram. Knocked Buddy Hield right out of the play. Again, they attack Alexander Walker, and Randle's been terrific. Scoring over 23 points per game in the playoffs. Much different story than his numbers from his years with the Knicks. And Lauren Jabbar, I know you had a chance to visit with Julius Randle before the game.
Yeah, I did, and he just talked about his resilience this season and how after he came back from that injury during All-Star break, he's really felt like the team has gelled together. He said getting injured right before All-Star break, he just wanted to focus on coming back and do spotlight. He hears the criticism, but doesn't let that affect him. He's been playing very smart, beautiful basketball for us and leading us with his veteran leadership.
Yeah, look, and the T-Wolves have been, counting the playoffs, 24-6 since he came back in March. He's been the key to them getting things turned around as Alexander Walker hits a little runner in the paint.
Julius Randle scoring is up 6 points on average from his time with the Knicks. This is his 10th playoff game with Minnesota. Had 15 playoff games as a Knick. Buddy Hield drives and is fouled by DiVincenzo.
That's a great cut by Buddy Hield against the DiVincenzo denial. And
Celebrate responsibly. Stan chooses chill every hour of the day, except when you put the headset on and you're all business.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Got your deli order in today. Everything's right in the world.
No question. Got that sandwich waiting for me after the game tonight.
No T-bones for Stan Van. Three-pointer, no good. There's Green with the rebound. Buddy Hield pushing it here and turns it over.
That's already Buddy Hield's 3rd turnover of the night. The Warriors 7th.
Wolves get it right back. Alexander Walker got a deflection, and it'll be Golden State ball.
Neither team really valuing possessions right now. Not valuing the ball, I would say. Each team with 7 turnovers.
That air ball three-pointer by Kuminga means the Warriors have missed their last 7 threes after they hit 3 of their first 5. They got 3-point makes from Pajemski, who hit 2 in front, trying to put the Warriors away and advance to their 2nd consecutive Western Conference Finals. Pajemski takes a peek, 2 to shoot, got a foul, and the lefty go to the free throw line.
Just a great way to draw fouls there from anybody. Drive the ball hard, go to your step back, and then shot fake, and you get the guy moving forward to try to close down the space. You're able to draw the foul. Every perimeter player needs to have that in their game.
That shiner under the right eye of Pajemski that he got from a Gobert elbow. It's free on all favorite devices.
Now they call Pajemski for being in early on the free throw. That's a foul. That's a violation the Cleveland Cavaliers wish they were in early.
Congratulations to the Pacers, first team to advance to the conference finals. Punch their ticket. Naz Reid with Hield on him. Extra pass over to Randall. And a bouncing rebound to Mike Conley. Randall tees another one up. Short. Kuminga thought about it. And now he draws a double team. Jimmy Butler rises up. Hits a nice mid-range jumper.
Okay, Jimmy Butler's going to get aggressive offensively. The Warriors have a lot better chance to win this game.
Coach, he played 34 minutes in game 4, just 14 points. He looked like he was a bit out of it. As Anthony Edwards cashes in a 3. After the game in game 4, it was revealed that Butler was playing with a pretty bad illness. They were surprised he was able to play as much as he did. Pajemski's first miss, but Naz Reid puts it in. He was trying to push that rebound to a teammate, and it goes in, and I think they'll probably have to give that to Green. Draymond Green scored with a basket. Easiest basket he's ever had.
Yeah, one he didn't have to do anything to get.
McDaniels turns the corner. Kuminga's right there. And McDaniels up and over, no good.
Well, Kuminga's a pretty good individual defender. His problems have come off the ball on health, rotation, things like that.
Pajemski passed up a couple of 3 opportunities. And now Kuminga going one-on-one with Randall. Elevates and misses. He was in rhythm though. And Hield picks Edwards' pocket. Buddy Hield on the breakaway. And here come the Warriors. So Minnesota sloppy with the ball. Golden State has cut it to 3. His 3rd year in Minnesota.
It's only his 3rd made 2 of the series. It's 3 for 13. He's had trouble finishing.
Butler left open, misses a 3, and run down by Edwards. Minnesota's lead is 5. Warriors have hardly led. Their only lead was by 1 early. Here goes McDaniels. Taking on Santos. No good. Santos, a big body Steve Kerr is thrown into the rotation tonight.
Yeah, he's getting significant minutes here. But look, 13 guys on this roster have gotten meaningful minutes in this playoff run for the Warriors.
Pajemski misses a mid-range jumper, and that's good.
They just need to be more solid than what they have been, even though they've gotten away with some wins.
Pajemski with that little floater with the left hand. Minnesota 5 turnovers this quarter, and the Warriors add 2 more points. 3-point game. Edwards probing. And now Randall finds Conley. Edwards open for 3. No, gives it up. Butler closed. And Conley hits another one right at the end of the shot clock.
That was a good defensive possession by the Warriors, but Conley makes a big one.
Second made 3 for Mike Conley. Butler with a mismatch with Conley gives it up. Pajemski for 3. And Pajemski missed it. Edwards out of the pack. Approaching the 3-minute mark. Edwards drives on Kuminga. Conley set up again. He's feeling it right now. Mike Conley delivering finals in back-to-back years. Draymond Green with a nice finish, put a little spin on it. Just as Minnesota had matched their largest lead.
Well, I loved it, Chris Finch's message, cleaner and simpler. I mean, we get so used to seeing all the spectacular plays in the NBA, but a lot of it comes down to the basics, the fundamentals.
It was the cleaner and simpler role that reminded me about his uniform washing days in England. As Draymond Green rattles home a 3-pointer.
Back-to-back assists from Podziemski to Draymond Green. I would say that hasn't been one of the more frequent combinations in the league.
There goes McDaniels with the left-handed finger roll. So skilled. Is emerging as a real force for the Wolves. They've got big names on their roster already. He's turning into one of them, McDaniels. Green, another three-pointer. No good. Conley the rebound. Conley's been a presence in this second quarter. Randall. Backing down Podziemski. Now draws a double and Hield with the foul coming in. Or they call that on Podziemski.
Daniels on the drive. He's really improved his offensive game since he came into the league. I mean, Julius Randle just playing some bully ball and draws the foul down there.
And it was on Podziemski.
It's his second.
Minute 37 remaining. First of the last 2 minutes, made it side out. Next one will put Minnesota to the line. Edwards gets the switch. Now the double. And Randall for three. Late clock. And he buries it. Julius Randall. Shooting at 35% from three-point range. He's got his second of the night.
If you just look at the numbers, the biggest difference in the game. Each team's taken 18 threes. Minnesota's made 8. Golden State only 4.
Wild shot by Green. There goes Conley. Conley looking for Gobert. Gobert inside, and he's fouled by Kuminga.
Julius Randle, a deep three right here. Leading scorer in the game with 12. He's also got 4 assists.
Former most improved player in the NBA. That was 4 years ago, 2021. He missed some time with that adductor injury, did Randall. Once he came back, he missed all of February. Once he came back in March, the Wolves took off. More NBA playoff action tomorrow. Thunder and Nuggets match up for Game 6 back in Denver. That's 8:30 Eastern on ESPN. Saturday, WNBA tips off. It's the Aces and the Liberty. 1 o'clock on ESPN, and then at 3 Eastern, it is the Sky and the Fever. Gobert, 1 out of 2 at the line. Gobert made all 4 of his free throws in Game 4. Minnesota by 12. Notching their biggest lead of the game. Butler hearing it from the Minnesota fans. Here's Green in the corner. Green, no good. McDaniels up ahead. Randall running the floor. Randall taking on all comers. It goes! And 1!
That's a great pass. To Ford.
And a major part of the success story of the Wolves. Knocks in the free throw. 62-47. 15 now for Randall. 10 in the second quarter. And the 15-point lead is the biggest of the game for Minnesota. Jimmy Butler with 4 to shoot, rises up over Gobert, no good. Edwards got time here to get one off. Up to 2 to 1. Edwards gives it up. McDaniels beats the clock, and he missed it long. The Wolves close the quarter on a 17-5 run to take a 15-point lead. No Stephen Curry.
Aren't staying in front. We have to think about that. Keep the ball, keep the man in front of us. I said, Steve, what's your message to the team at half? He said, first 5 minutes, we have to set a tone.
Great call. Thank you, Lauren. Good stuff. Thanks to Steve Kerr.
Kerr talks about staying in front of the ball, and right off the bat, Buddy Hield just gambles. He got the foul. If he hadn't fouled, it would have been Anthony Edwards to the rim.
Randall, that extra pass in the corner to McDaniels. And it's Podziemski with a rebound. Here comes Hield now. Hield, Pajemski, Butler, Green, and Jackson Davis tonight. This has been the starting lineup for Golden State for the last 3 games. Stephen Curry injured in game 1, hamstring injury, and the Wolves have not lost since. Pajemski running the floor, lays it in. Buddy Hield set him up.
Well, you can see the Warriors playing. They're going to be very aggressive. Not only did they blitz Anthony Edwards, they blitzed Mike Conley on the last one and force him into their 11th turnover. They've got to be able to get their defense going and score off of it.
Steve Kerr talks to Lauren about the first 5 minutes. I'm sure Chris Finch had a similar message. This is an opportunity for Minnesota to wrap up a series in 5 games and not even give the Warriors a chance to get Curry back on the floor. Pajemski hits his 3rd 3 of the night.
Already his best game of this series.
Pajemski coming off just 11 points on 0 for 4 shooting from 3-point range in game 4. Conley's had the hot hand, and he stays that way.
Well, the Warriors trapped even on the guard-to-guard screen there. Conley just able to flare back and knock it down. His 4th 3 of the game.
Unexpected offense from Mike Conley.
That's what the Warriors are going to need, is some unexpected offense.
Butler, series of fakes, takes a tough shot, missed it. Gobert clears the rebound. Up ahead, Randall. Randall's been running the floor. Ball's moving now. Edwards steps into a 3. Cash! The lead is 18. And those first 5 minutes not going as planned for Steve Kerr. Pajemski tries to leave it for Jackson Davis. Offensive weapon in that first half. He scored 11 points in 16 minutes. Draymond Green up top for Butler. Well executed play that time. Off the side, out of bounds.
Yeah, Chris Finch not happy with that at all defensively. Breakdown in communication on how they wanted to handle that flex screen.
Wolves took out the Lakers in 5 as Edwards mistimed his jump.
The Timberwolves to shoot themselves in the foot and turn the ball over, and right now the Timberwolves seem willing to oblige.
Buddy Hield, no good. Gobert knocks it out of bounds. They missed their first 16 3-point tries. Butler gives it right back. Minnesota closing well. Shot clock down to 1. Buddy Hield gets around Randall, did hit the rim, and Gobert secures and a foul. And if that's on Hield, that's number 4. Leading by 16 points in this closeout game. Edwards loose with the ball, but secures it. McDaniels packs one down.
That is Edwards' 8th assist of the night.
From one half to another, and he's off to a good start.
Yeah, over
here in half
12
number 2.
points a game different between the first half and the second half as the Warriors come out and turn it over. Oh.
I think they're saying a deflection by McDaniels.
Okay.
And now Green for 3, and no good. Gobert clears it away. Those are those numbers you're talking about, Coach.
Listen, almost 20 points a game in the second half, though, on 64% shooting. And he's one away from his playoff career high of 9 assists, but that's also his 4th turnover of the night.
Commando, and it's knocked out of his hands by Conley.
13 turnovers from Minnesota.
Jimmy Butler draws the contact, will go to the line. It is the only reason the Warriors are remotely in this, and they're down him out, not rule him out for game 6. But Minnesota trying to make sure they don't see him until next season. Take a look at our FanDuel live points to start the day, and I've only increased that number. Jimmy Butler hits them both.
Well, the first thing you've got to do if you're the Warriors now is you're going to have to string together some stops. Minnesota, pretty simple. Take care of the ball. It's going to be hard for this Warriors team to come back.
Draymond Green fouls Randall on the take. Randall has really changed the narrative of his postseason performances in the past, and he told Chris Finch before these playoffs started, he goes, you know, I want to change that story. I want to change that scouting report. I don't want to wear that for another playoffs. I'm ready. And he came back healthy from that adductor injury. They've been a different team. Nice move by DiVincenzo. Wow. Looking to pass. He ended up scoring.
Great footwork in the paint. That's something comes from Villanova. Something that Jay Wright worked on very hard with his guys in college, was to be able to play off of 2 feet in the paint, shot fake.
/ Villanova teammates. He said literally every day. But he told me from a basketball team and basketball standpoint, it's been really cool to see a trade involved.
Yeah, look, it played off for both teams. It paid off for both Randall and Karl Anthony Towns. You don't see that often, but Dante DiVincenzo's right. That was a win-win trade, and Podziemski knocks down another one.
Podziemski's got 16. He's buried 3 threes, having his best game of the series. Where is the scoring going to come from outside of Butler? That's a major question for Golden State. Minnesota up 15. That was their halftime lead. And now Edwards looking for Gobert. Gobert, mismatch inside, missed it. Randall's got an offensive board. Randall just keeping the ball here. Randall travels.
He travels. That's his 4th turnover of the night, and the Timberwolves' 4th
over the quarter for Minnesota. Here's Butler. Gives it up. And a mid-range jump shot. Almost an air ball. Just grazed the rim. They didn't reset the shot clock. They should have. Podziemski lets it fly and hits another one. It works out. That was a mistake by the officials, but Podziemski, undeterred, knocks down his 4th three-pointer. He's got 10 in the quarter stand.
Yeah, and they've got it back to 12. They're not going away.
DiVincenzo gets by Podziemski. Podziemski goes right back at Randall. Shot fake. Kuminga, 3-pointer flies. Offensive rebound, Hield. And McDaniels with those long arms, able to get the deflection. And it's going to be a foul.
0 for 4 from 3. Does have 4 rebounds, but 4 fouls and 4 turnovers.
Hield had that terrific 2-game window. Game 7 against Houston, 33 points. He made 9 3-pointers in that game, tied a playoff record with Dante DiVincenzo. And then Hield backed it up with 24 points in game 1 of this series and made 5 threes. Gobert gets it inside, no contest. Rudy Gobert camping down in the lane. Steve Kerr wants the timeout.
This was Golden State zone right here. And has them now go ready, right on the precipice of going to the conference finals for the 2nd straight year high with 9 assists.
18-point Minnesota lead. 4.5 to go, 3rd quarter. Minnesota just too tough right now. Podziemski's been most of the offense. Santos secures that air ball. And in the corner, that is Kuminga. No good. Gobert with a rebound. Here comes DiVincenzo. DiVincenzo had his pocket picked by Gary Payton II. And we got a whistle.
It's been fantastic all night, but that play wasn't good, wasn't well executed.
Spencer up there for the rebound. Another chance here for the Warriors. And Kuminga hits a 3.
The Warriors now with 11 offensive rebounds, 18 second chance points to 0 second chance points for Minnesota. But the way the Warriors have limited second chance points, Minnesota scored on all their first chances.
It's one of those good news, bad news stats. Edwards. Randall offensive board put back.
Well, that's their first 2 second chance points.
Just wanted to clean up the stat sheet for you, Stan.
Absolutely.
Kuminga left wide open. Comes up short. Randall with the rebound. Approaching the 3-minute mark of this 3rd quarter. Wolves trying to put the Warriors away in 5. First elimination game of this series. Here goes Edwards. Step through. Edwards, good. He's got great speed, but he's got a great slowdown game too, in total control. He's missed his fair share of layups, most of those coming in the first halves of games. He's had back-to-back 30-point games as Kuminga explodes to the basket and lays it in. And timeout Chris Finch. Fist in the playoffs. He's having a breakout night tonight. Dante DiVincenzo getting loose from beyond the arc finally. Biggest lead for Minnesota. They're hungry for more. Wolves up 19. And that's going to be double dribble. Edwards turns it over.
It's his fifth. They're going to play either Oklahoma City or Denver, and they will not have the margin for error that they have now to be able to turn the ball over the way they have over these last 3 games.
Under 2 minutes in the third quarter as Kuminga rises up, misses. And there's Randall with a rebound. You just kind of feel the 2 windows here, the symbolic windows of these.
He was going to try to sub Pajemski, didn't get him in, and Anthony Edwards hits a 3.
Edwards with 14, his 4th three-pointer. Heel turns it over and back. And Minnesota with the ball, up 22. Trying to stay loose.
Yeah.
And they want to get him on the floor. A lot of talk about the Warriors window, coach. Jimmy Butler kind of reopened that window for Golden State, gave them new life, but it does, the visuals here, it does bring into the fact that Stephen Curry, even at his age, is such a game-changing player. That's not new news, but the team that's on the floor now does not look like road. They did that earlier in game 1. Mike Dunleavy taking over as the head of basketball operations. And not that they're not capable of a major comeback. It would be a huge surprise, but Golden State, once Curry went out, everything changed.
Well, there's no question. And see just how valuable he is. I mean, with Curry and Butler, 27 and 8, including the play-in and the postseason. Those guys 27 and 8 together, but with Butler and without Curry, 1 and 5 coming into this game. Just an entirely different team. Don't even look like this would be a playoff team without Steph Curry. With him, they're a contender, but where do you go if you're Mike Dunleavy? Because, yes, you've proven those guys can win, but they're your 3 core guys.
Draymond Green will be 36, as will Butler. Hey, don't miss a playoff moment with the NBA app. You can download the app today. Latest scores, highlights, behind-the-scenes access to all the drama. Warriors, they struggled mightily in the first half, changing their roster, changing their rotation, starting lineups in. Pulled off the big trade outside of the Luka Doncic trade. That was the significant trade piece that the Warriors got Jimmy Butler in a bitter ending to the Butler-Miami era. And we were all kind of curious to see what it would look like with the Warriors once Butler arrived, and it was even better than
Generational player like Steph Curry, you know, who's obviously getting a lot closer to the end of his career than the beginning. You got to give him every opportunity to win as the Timberwolves struggle.
And it's going to be a foul on Jimmy Butler.
Well, these teams combined averaging over 34 turnovers a game in this series, and that'll be the 30th tonight already. 13 for Golden State, 17 for Minnesota.
8 seconds separating the shot clock and the game clock. Been a big third quarter for Minnesota. Had a 15-point lead at the half. And as Charles Barkley predicted, the Wolves would add to it in a significant way, and they've done just that. They're up 23 right now. Chance at the last shot for Golden State. Down to 2. Kuminga gets it off and scores at the end of the third quarter. Thanks to Mike Conley, still doing it, 37 years of age, and a big night tonight. Hit some key three-pointers. Open up this quarter with Minnesota up 21 as Quentin Post starts the fourth quarter with a three.
Well executed, too. Steve Kerr and his bench like that one. They haven't always loved their execution tonight coming out of timeouts. There they got exactly what they wanted.
Kerr giving Moses Moody and Quentin Post some run to start this fourth quarter. See if he can catch a flame here. And here's Conley again. Missed it. Post with a rebound. I was kind of hoping he'd make that just for Lauren's sake, you know.
I mean, the players need to understand that.
Don't want to have her wearing a jinx. She would never do that. Moses Moody drives, cut off, and a little turnaround. No, but Guy Santos is there.
Moses Moody, though, just struggling. He averaged 11 points in his first 6 playoff games. He's averaged 1 in the last 5 coming into tonight, and he's now 1 for 18 from the floor in this series.
Inside, Naz Reid. Post is there defending, and Reid able to score that. Great Post at 7 feet. Presents some size, but Naz Reid able to score.
It's just great patience and footwork.
Post again, open for 3. Ooh, missed it badly. Browns that backboard. Here comes McDaniels. McDaniels spring-loaded. And Podziemski trying to take a charge. McDaniels turns it over. Podziemski. And now Guy Santos. They're getting some looks. They just can't make the three-pointers.
And they're making great effort.
As Randall goes in and scores. And Minnesota with a 20-point lead. Moses Moody got it.
Wow.
It's got to feel good for him. Moses Moody started the first 3 games of this postseason, but he's been out of the rotation the last 5. I mean, it was a complete collapse. Basically played off the floor in this series against the Wolves.
Well, it's hard to stay on the floor when you're making no shots, and especially without Steph Curry, you need to find guys who can make some.
Warriors had a hard-fought opening round series win against Houston. Houston was the 2 seed. Warriors went 7 with it. Moody ducks his head and goes in and scores with a foul. So Moody making sure they don't forget.
Quarter, and now it's already been cut to 14 in less than 3 minutes.
Wolves lead at the half was 15. Led by 21 going into this fourth. Here's McDaniel, stops on a dime, missed it. And Butler secures. Here come the Warriors. On a run here with this group on the floor. Podziemski gets to his left hand and off the backboard. Timeout, Chris Finch. That was a flurry quarter. Minnesota had 2 excellent closing quarters, the second and the third. And a miss on the other end. So Golden State playing for their playoff lives, trying to get this back to San Francisco for a Game 6 on Sunday. The 3 days off between games 5 and 6. And will Curry be able to return if they can get there? And the Warriors turn it over. Post couldn't handle the pass. Hit the baseline. And Golden State with a give.
It's a good look by Podziemski, and Quentin Post just didn't handle the pass.
Edwards and Gobert, and now trapped, and that's going to be a foul. That was close. A foul on Golden State. On Post. Now Edwards gets into the paint. Edwards able to lay it in. Minnesota needed that one. Podziemski right back on the attack. Post. And he throws it away. No, Jimmy Butler there to save it. Butler kicks it to Podziemski. Driving on Gobert. Inside, outside game. Post can't hit. Santos keeps it alive.
Say, Guy Santos is a relentless effort player.
Oh. Moody misses the layup. Butler was there for the follow. He's fouled. The layup doesn't go. Get behind the scenes look this season of Inside the NBA with Going Inside. It's presented by American Express, premiering after Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals. It's good to get those guys some airtime. We don't see much of that inside.
That's exactly right. Exactly
drifting
right.
away in anonymity.
Yeah, I don't think that'll ever happen. No anonymity for those guys.
7.5 to go in regulation here. Warriors on a flurry. Start this fourth quarter as Randall just goes to work, backs down Santos, and that's going to be an offensive foul.
We went right through D. Santos.
The Warriors, the on-court ruling stays as an offensive foul.
There you go.
Good call by the referees. Would hate to have seen this be a flagrant.
Good call by you. Your 98% success rate on these is still holding in the playoffs, Stan.
That's exactly right. You know, I only count the ones I get right, so.
25. And now Moses Moody springs free, and he hits a three-pointer. Steve Kerr's found a little magic with his group on the floor.
Well, again, coming out of that timeout, outstanding execution.
Single-digit lead for Minnesota now. Just as it looked like Golden State was down. Now Anthony Edwards hits a big three-pointer for the Wolves. Podziemski going right back at him.
And we showed you the difference between the first half and the second half with Anthony Edwards, and he's already got 13 in the second half tonight. Another Warriors turnover, and it's right back up to 14.
Costly turnover. McDaniels with another steal. Edwards.
It's Edwards' 6th turnover on the night.
Moses Moody drives. McDaniels turns him back. Now Podziemski will try his hand. Got that quick release, and he scores with a left hand. Got to a strong hand, and Podziemski, they're 23 now for Golden State. Moody guarding Edwards. And Edwards turns it over again. Moody gets to the basket, and a foul. Oh, Anthony Edwards.
My daughter will be at that 1 o'clock game. Las Vegas at the Liberty. My daughter and her fiance are Liberty season ticket holders.
That'll be a fun time in Brooklyn. Here is DiVincenzo, air ball. McDaniel saves it. Edwards fires, and back iron gets a long rebound, a third chance. Edwards, no! And we got a whistle on the loose ball foul. And it's going to stay on this side of the floor. It'll be on the Warriors. 3 good looks at it. And Minnesota's going to have another chance here.
Well, Minnesota's still clearly in control of the game, but they can't just get over the hump and put the Warriors away, mainly because they're not taking care of the ball. 20 turnovers or more for the 3rd straight game.
Randall backing down Butler. Fires it to Gobert. Gobert inside, no good, but a foul. Draymond Green encouraging his video team.
He's saying before the foul that Gobert threw an elbow. See if we get a challenge here. They are going to take a timeout and challenge. It looks now going into this free throw. He's still got 15.
That would look good.
In another closeout opportunity.
From J.J. Abrams and LaToya Morgan, don't miss Duster, the latest must-see crime drama, stars Josh Holloway and Rachel Hilson. Duster streaming Thursday at 9, exclusively on Max.
Well, so here's the Gobert thing. He's now in the 2 closeout games, scored 39 points. In the other 8 playoff games, he's averaging 5.6.
Warriors turn it over. Podziemski trying to get it back to Green. Here's DiVincenzo. Gobert lays it in. Every time Golden State has an opportunity, they give it away. Minnesota with the lead, up 13. Podziemski, excellent finish. Podziemski now at 25. His best game.
And the Warriors are going to grab Rudy Gobert and send him to the free throw line here.
Rudy.
We've seen the strategy a lot in some of the other series against Steven Adams. We've seen it against Mitchell Robinson in the New York series. Steve Kerr has not used it here until now. Rudy Gobert's a 67% free throw shooter. Steve Kerr did was get Rudy Gobert off the floor.
Yeah, Chris Finch, he's going to wait till that 2-minute mark, you would think, to bring him back in. And so Minnesota trying to add to their lead. Randle goes to the basket. Julius Randle puts Minnesota back up 13. Podziemski drives. Podziemski with no Gobert. That's put back by Butler. Wolves think it was in the cylinder. Might have a case. Jimmy Butler with a big putback. Under 4 minutes to go. Minnesota up 3-1 in this series. Chance to send Golden State home, and McDaniels set up by Anthony Edwards. 10 assists for Edwards. McDaniels, the high flyer on the receiving end.
That is a new career playoff high in assists for Anthony Edwards.
Podziemski, bounce pass to Draymond Green, no good. There's Edwards. Randle run on the floor. Randle puts it in. Finishing time for Minnesota. Butler moving fast, got to get shots up. Butler is fouled. And free.
Great look and a great pass by Anthony Edwards. You close out games by defending, rebounding, and taking care of the ball. And Chris Finch knows going forward, first they've got to finish this game, but then going forward, they cannot afford to make the mistakes they've been making here.
1 out of 2. McDaniels is fouled by Kuminga. And that'll send him to the other side of the floor for free throws.
He's just continuing to do what every coach does. He's continuing to coach and teach regardless of the situation. These are basic fundamental things, and you don't want your team losing focus. You've got to build good habits, championship habits.
McDaniels hits them both. The lead is back to 15, which is where it was at the half. Podziemski races down the floor. Kuminga for 3, no good. Moody, offensive rebound. And McDaniels is there for another steal. Gives it right back to him. He was falling out of bounds. Kuminga with a dunk.
It would have been better for McDaniels to either throw the ball long or just step out of bounds.
It does count as the 4th steal of the game for McDaniels.
Also counts as the 21st turnover of the game for Minnesota, leading to 26 points minute game. You want to win consistently at the highest levels, you got to play it for 48 minutes, not for 45, but for 48.
Plenty of examples prove that point as Randle drives to the basket, lays it in. Podziemski gets to the paint. He is fouled. Count that. Even after made baskets, Podziemski racing down the floor. And stacking up a monster game here.
And from Kuminga, obviously, they haven't been able to have the big game out of Jimmy Butler. They needed everything tonight.
This is another free throw. 2 out of 5 from the line. Podziemski's got a playoff career high 28. We're approaching the 2-minute mark. Minnesota leads it by 13. Trying to punch their ticket to the Western Conference Finals for the 2nd consecutive season. Steady by Conley, gives it up. Here's Edwards now. Edwards drives and is fouled. And Edwards will go to the line. Warriors running out of time here. Hey, don't forget, TNT is your new home for Roland Garros. 2nd Grand Slam of the year. You can watch the stars of tennis descend on Paris, and it starts May 25th on TNT and Max. Got a big crew assembled for that one, and we're looking forward to that.
Led by you, and I can't wait to see you on the coverage of your first tennis major.
Led is, that's probably not the right word. I'll be there. I'll be there reading the promos. That's the block. Podziemski with Conley on him. Clock ticks. Jimmy Butler wide open for 3, short. season is running out on the Warriors. Minute 38 to go. Warriors ball. 14 on the clock. Moody stuck in the corner. Moody drives. DiVincenzo called for the foul.
You got to give the shooting and turn the ball over 17 times.
Golden State came out of that hard-fought 7-game series with Houston, but it took a toll, and the biggest toll was to the left hamstring of Stephen Curry, injured in game 1 after the Warriors traveled from Houston, had 1 day between the end of round 1 and the start of round 2. It's going to be a foul on Pajemski. No more challenges for Steve Kerr. Conley as steady as it gets at the line. His first free throws of the night. He's now 9 for 10 in the playoffs. He's shot it at 90% from the line this year. He is the perfect man for the job with 1:27 left.
Well, on his best offensive night of the playoffs in their first chance to close out at home in 21 years.
Key three-pointers for Conley tonight. He made 4 of them.
Seems like Mike was playing in the league the last time the Wolves closed out a game.
Almost, as Kuminga hits a three-pointer. Ball control for Minnesota. They're starting to feel it here at Target Center. They're waving goodbye to the Golden State Warriors. Minnesota is formidable. Since March 1st, they've been one of the best teams in the NBA. And now they're going to have a day with either Oklahoma City or Denver. Minnesota swept Denver in the regular season. They split with Oklahoma City 2-2. What a moment for this.
For quite a while, and I just want to say, B.A., you've been the best, and the NBA is going to miss you next year.
Oh, thank you, Stan. It's been a long road. I'll go back to 1992.
And let me direct all the Brian Anderson fans out there, of which there are many, to your Instagram, where you posted today your 3 biggest NBA moments on TNT preview.
Well, it's been an honor to sit by you, Coach. And a lot of those familiar faces and voices that you've seen through the years on TNT will be continuing on with the NBA, including our inside guys. But yeah, it's the end of the line for me here. Been a true honor. And now Minnesota ready for the victory lap. And the Timberwolves are going to advance to their 2nd consecutive conference finals. It'll be their 6th playoff series win, 4 in the last 2 years. And what a series that is going to be. Minnesota lost in 5 to the Mavericks last year in the conference finals. They're going to get another bite at the apple. That's a ball game. Minnesota is moving on. A 121